Hi, I'm Willow McIntosh, founder of Illuminance and leader of the High Sensory Intelligence movement. The trait known as sensory processing sensitivity is found in 20% of the population. Currently labelled as the highly sensitive person, it's putting a lot of people off from wanting to be associated with it. But can we continue with the dire consequences that this is currently causing us? If you were born with the trait, you may not want to be referred to as being sensitive and may not look any further into it. If you weren't born with the trait, you may well say to yourself, well, it's got nothing to do with me, so why should I care? Well, if you were born with the trait, then it is hugely important to understand and develop the incredible gifts that it affords both you and the people that you were born to serve. If you weren't born with it, then I can safely say it's more than likely you know someone who was, perhaps an employee, a manager, or a friend. The trait is found in 1 in 5, so the chances are pretty high. Whichever category you fall into, I very much invite you to keep listening, as this could be of great advantage to you. One of the greatest concerns with the trait is shifting this label from sensitivity into high sensory intelligence, or HSI. And the reason this is so important is around the matter of ownership. Until we fully acknowledge the differences associated with the trait and the abilities it affords, we are never going to truly bring it into service at the level it was intended. The trait brings a highly valuable viewpoint to share in businesses and organizations. It's the same for our communities, our families, and all the way up to the highest level in government. When you consider how the trait shows up in nature in over 100 species, it gives us some perspective. High sensory animals notice subtle changes in their environment that the other animals may not. They are processing sensory information more deeply. They may notice an area of extra nutritious grass that will benefit the herd. They may notice dangers or disadvantages in a particular area. Sure, tasty grass may not mean much to us as humans, but trust me, when we transfer these abilities into the human realm, it really does. These abilities are designed to support growth and evolution. So the first part to this ownership piece is acknowledging the importance that it brings, especially when it comes to leadership. In fact, Dr. Elaine Aron, the psychologist who discovered the trait, referred to HSI people as royal advisors, which is a great description. Sometimes we are the leaders or even the royalty, and often we are the people advising at this level. So the point that I'm coming to is the responsibility that we have to own and encourage this vital part of our anthropology. Nature hasn't kept this genetic trait running through us for what could have well been hundreds of thousands of years without good reason. Yet I see it time and time again with the HSIs that I facilitate. Self-doubt and the misinterpretation of the trait is robbing them of their own happiness and the benefit that it could be bringing others. They will be sitting on a particular ability. They have to intuit and process sensory information in the moment, affording enormous advantage to the workplace. In many cases, astute fellow co-workers can sense this ability, yet the HSI just isn't speaking up. He or she is not relaying the valuable information about a particular situation, not sharing the gift they have to see and understand crucial information, exactly in the same way the animals are designed to do for their advantage in evolution. Some of the greatest leaders history has ever seen were now known to have had the trait of sensory processing sensitivity, which is the scientific name for high sensory intelligence. When you combine advanced empathic leadership skills with high sensory abilities, vision, the means to enroll the masses and take action, you get major shifts in the evolution of humankind towards good. So what's the issue? Why are so many HSIs not standing up, owning it, and bringing these shifts and advantages into the workplace? Why are so many not using their gifts to become highly sought after consultants, coaches, and advisors in their field? Why are 50% of the population born with the trait in the Western world currently in depression? It's because of self-doubt and self-rejection as a result of the misinterpretation of this trait. So, there are many businesses worldwide missing out on an incredible resource they have in their workforce, while so many HSIs struggle on. In my case, this was the key transition that I had to make with my own identity shift. The self-doubt I had about who I really was and the reality of my own sensory experience meant I spent many years running a false self, pretending to be someone else. I would try to fit in, to be accepted, and the rejection of who I knew I really was inside led to my own depression. So to give you an example of how the trait plays out, I come from a lineage of men who are stable and bold in front of high-ranking people. Now, I don't say this to brag in any way. I say this because the refusal to own this caused me great misery, and I was doing the people around me an injustice. I came to realize many years ago that when I found myself in important meetings, discussions, or decision-making processes, I had several abilities. I was able to sense the outcome of the bigger picture as different parameters were discussed. I would be able to feel the reactions in others and intuit how they may perform or behave in particular circumstances. I had an ability to enthuse people and align them to ideal outcomes, being able to sense their hidden passions and purpose. Once I engaged this part of myself, it led me to facilitate business owners into great success, along with many other HSIs, to understand and implement their own abilities and gifts. It has brought many advantages to many situations over the years, and I came to realize the responsibility that we have to speak up, share, and make the difference that we know that we can. It was a conscious shift to understand the importance of the trait in myself, to move from a place of doubt and rejection into a place of ownership. A personal act of love and self-engagement that brought me out of depression and into service. It is a path that can be taught, and it is possible for all of us with the trait. I firmly believe this is a resource we must bring into the forefront and ensure we are utilizing it in the way that nature intended, to bring the millions of people currently in depression into a place of self-acknowledgement, actualization, and fulfillment. Join me on my next masterclass, where I will share my journey, what is possible, and how to make the shift into high sensory intelligence. Or if you would like to take our quiz to find out if you identify as having the trait yourself, please find the links underneath this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon. I was able to sense the outcome of the bigger picture as different. This bloody thing. I would be able to feel the reactions in others.